Hello and welcome to Module 3, Create a Smart Contract. So in this one we're gonna take our Hatcoins built in Module 2 and we're gonna do an ICO issuing 1 million Hatcoins for the investors to be able to buy them or even sell them, because we're gonna offer a buyback option which basically allows us to buy the Hatcoins back and therefore the investors can get their money back at any time. And we'll make all this secure and fraudless through a smart contract which we will implement on Solidity. And of course, we'll use some other user-friendly interfaces to interact with our smart contract, exactly as we did with Postman in modules 1 and 2. And these user-friendly interfaces will be first Ganache to interact with the transactions and the blocks, because we'll be working on the Ethereum blockchain. And also we'll have a wallet, MyEther wallet, which is an Ethereum-based wallet, and that's from this wallet specifically that we will buy the altcoins or sell them back, and that's where we'll see our equity in either US dollars or altcoins. I can't wait to show you the demo in the end. This one will also be epic. So for now, we're gonna start with the installations, everything that is required to implement all this. And so we'll need three things. First, Ganache. Second, MyEther wallet. And third, Solidity. So let's set all this to get us ready, and let's start with Ganache. So if you like chocolate, you will have problem finding Ganache by just typing Ganache here, because indeed that's how Ganache is spelled. That's what we want to download, but you'll only find some Ganache, which is a glazed icing sauce for pastries, which of course is not what we want to get. Even if I really like chocolate, we will have something else on the menu today. And this something else is truffle with chocolate. Because indeed, if you like truffle with chocolate, here you will find what we want. Because indeed, if I press enter here, truffle Ganache, the first link, not this one, but this one here, the first link is not some Ganache with truffle food, but it is exactly what we'll need. That is this user-friendly interface with which we will interact with the smart contract. As you can see, the Ethereum blockchain, Ganache ships with an internal JavaScript implementation of the Ethereum blockchain, which has additional programmatic capabilities. And there we go, that's our framework. So let's click on it. Ganache, and as we can see, we can already feel the user-friendly style. So you can navigate a little bit to see what it looks like, but really the only thing we need is to download it. So here I'm on the macOS, so I suppose it automatically recognized my system, but no worries. If you have a Windows or Linux, I suppose you will either get the right system here, or you will need to click here on need a different OS download. All right, so click on this download button, and there we go. We will get Ganache in any second. The download is right here. And as you can see, it takes a little more than 30 seconds. So we should get it very quickly. And in the meantime, we can have a look at what it looks like. So that's the interface. That's exactly what we'll be using. We'll have the blocks here, the transactions here. And each time we mine a block, or each time we do a new transaction, the TX count will be incremented here. So anyway, I'll show you this in the demo at the end of this module, because now the download is finished. So I'm gonna go now to my download folder. Here it is. So let's double click on it, and opening Ganache 1.1.0 beta, and here is Ganache. So here I'm on a Mac. That's basically how you install a new app. You just slide it over here, and this installs Ganache. So pretty easy. Now I'm gonna go to my applications to show you. Ganache must be right here. Here it is. Here is Ganache opening, and here we are on Ganache. So as you can see, exactly the same. But we're not going to do anything now because we don't have any smart contract yet. So now what we're going to do is the second step of this installation, which is to install MyEther wallet. All right, so let's close this. Let's go back to Google, and so I'm opening a new tab. And here now to find what we want. Unfortunately or fortunately, we won't be distracted this time by any food, but to get what we want, we just need to type GitHub, because we're going to get it on a GitHub page, which is the GitHub page of MyEther wallet. And you just need to type Ether wallet. You can just press enter, and there you go. It should be the first link. There it is. GitHub KVH Nuke Ether wallet. All right, so let's click on this. First link, GitHub page of MyEther wallet. And now we're going to scroll down, and there you go. That's exactly where you want to go. Click on this, download the latest release, and now you have several ways of getting it, either with the source code or the Chrome extension, but what we need is the zip folder, because we'll see that it contains an HTML file which will allow us to connect locally from our computer to MyEther wallet. That's the purpose of getting this. And so now make sure to click on this. I won't do it because I'm using the previous version 3.11.2.4, which actually worked very well. And if you have any issue with that version, well, no worries, I will share the version I use in the resources of this course. And so now, if you're ready, let's go back to our, well, first download folder, because you'll find your file here. So take this file that you just downloaded, that is your Ether wallet, and go to your desktop or anywhere where you created this whole blockchain A to Z folder of the course, which contains the 3 modules. And we're now in module 3, create a smart contract. So make sure to go inside and paste the Ether wallet right here. So that's what I did with the previous version, as you see, 2.4. So let's unzip it. And inside, as I just said, you'll find an index HTML file, which, if we click on it, will redirect us to my Ether wallet from your local computer. You see, this is my address. This is my main user folder, then desktop, then blockchain A to Z, module 3, create a smart contract, the Ether wallet zip folder that you just downloaded, and the index HTML file. All right, and so when you open it for the first time, well, you'll find this page with all the warnings, which I think should be right to be present, because it's indeed very important to understand what you're dealing with. That is, anything that is related to Ethereum smart contract or simply getting a wallet. So I'm not going to read anything now, but try to read this. This is really useful information for you. So my Ether wallet is not a bank, that's for sure. You know, the cryptocurrencies, the blockchain technologies are a whole new revolution that is totally disrupting the bank system. That's why the message. Then my Ether wallet is an interface. Okay, so obviously. Then if you have not followed the intuition lectures by Kirill, well, you will be interested to have their definition of a blockchain. What the flower is a blockchain? Here you have their explanation, so it could always be useful to read that again. And after they give you their definition of a blockchain, well, they ask the why are you reading all this, which is also a fair question. And that's because if you really want to use my Ether wallet for anything that is real, that is not a simulation or a demo like we'll do in this course, well, they remind you, and they're very right, that you and only you are responsible for your security. Be diligent to keep your private key, that's really important, and password safe. Your private key is sometimes a JSON file, by the way. That's good that we worked with JSON files that could allow you to handle even better the private keys. And most importantly, if you lose your private key or password, no one can recover it. So that's the downside of a blockchain. You know, a blockchain is not perfect. Cryptocurrency is not all white. It has some downside. And for me, that's the worst one. I don't know if you've heard the story of this guy who had a hard drive containing some private keys or password for a wallet holding some Bitcoins. But the thing is, at the time, the Bitcoin wasn't valued anything. And therefore, I think this guy put the hard drive in the trash. And I heard that today he's still looking in the trashes in the country to find his hard drive back, to get the Bitcoins back. Because indeed, without the private key, you cannot get the Bitcoins back. So let's hope that doesn't happen to us. And eventually, last warning we should be careful with is if you enter your private key on a phishing website, you will have all your funds taken. So no worries, nothing will happen here in this course. This is just a demo. We'll play with our altcoins, which I remind are worth absolutely nothing. So, all right, next question. What's the point of Mu? What is Mu? My Ether wallet. So of course, since Ethereum is, by the way, one of the best blockchain technologies today at the time I'm speaking, well, the main point is of course that it's a decentralized system and it's a blockchain-based technology. Okay, and then they explain how you can protect yourself and your funds. So we won't go through this because, again, we'll play with the altcoins. How you can protect yourself from scams. That could be interesting for you if you decide to go for real. And how to protect yourself from loss. Again, some more security tips. One more click and we're done. Really? No, I knew it. We still have this, but now in order to pop the champagne and start, we just need to click here. Oh my goodness, please just let me send for flowers' sake. All right, so here we go. Welcome to my Ether wallet. Now we're done with the second thing we had to install. We won't go further now because this will be part of the demo, but now we're going to move on to the third and main pillar of our implementation, which is Solidity. And it's actually really simple. We won't have any Anaconda or Python to install because we will get Solidity from Remix. All right, you can type here Remix Solidity, and you just need to go to the first link, Remix Solidity IDE. So basically it's an IDE in which you will be able to implement some Solidity programming, which is exactly what we'll use to build our smart contract. All right, so let's click on this. Remix Solidity IDE, and there we go. Welcome to Solidity in Remix. So here you will all get this, just as me. It's just a program example for some law problem, I think. I haven't looked at it in details, but we don't care. We can just close this, all right? And now we're going to click on this plus button here to create a new file, which we'll call @coins ICO, all right? @coins ICO.sol, sol is for Solidity, and then you just press OK. And there we go. We are ready to implement the smart contract for our initial coin offering of 1 million @coins. So just before we say goodbye, I'm going to put a title here. So here I'm about to enter a new comment, which won't be executed once we execute the whole code. And that's just to give a title, which will be @coins ICO, initial @coin offering. Perfect. So now we're ready to move on to the implementation, starting from the next tutorial. But just before we do this, I just recommend to have a look at the Solidity documentation, because this is something quite new. You know, I haven't made any other course on Solidity. So it's always good to have a look at the documentation and see a little bit how it works. For the C++ lovers, you will have no problem understanding it, because as you can see, it's a high-level language for implementing smart contracts, but it was influenced by C++ and Python also, but to me it looks more like C++ and JavaScript. So there you go. I recommend to read all these, which by the way gives you also some more information and explanation on smart contracts, with again the blockchain basics, the Ethereum virtual machine, if you want to look at it in more details. Then I recommend to check this out, Solidity by example. So here you have some Solidity code, which was the code we saw when we opened Remix, and it gives, you know, a lot of explanation here in the comments, again with double slash and not hash keys. And then for those of you who want to study Solidity more in depth, well, you have some more documentation here with the structure of a contract, the types, functions, mappings, everything. So you have everything here. So anytime you don't understand something in our implementation, you can always check this out. But of course, I'll do my best to explain the code as well as possible. So check this out, and whenever you're ready, let's build our smart contract.